Hello, and welcome to another Rivals of Ixalan draft. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome to the draft. Okay, so what have you got? Dusk Legion Zealot's pretty strong. As a 2-drop, it just replaces itself. It's not, like, insane. Like, you'll take a good card over it, but it's, like, it's, like, good that it replaces itself and affects the board. It's usually pretty solid, especially if you have cards that care about having vampires in play. Moment of Craving is another card that I think is pretty good. Yeah, target creature gets -2/-2 at instant speed. It can be a combat trick. It can be removal for flyers and other small creatures. Form of the Dinosaur. I had never played with this card. I had never played with it, but I played with it in my last draft, actually, and it was decent. It was about as good as a Colossal Dreadmaw would have been, but it was kind of fun to do. It was definitely hit or miss, though. I don't think it's insane. I kind of just wanted to have a jolly old time, so I tried it out. Slaughter the Strong is interesting. You can kind of build around it sometimes, but I don't think it's insane, so I'm just going to take Moment of Craving here. Goes into a lot of decks. Control, aggro, any deck is fine with it. Crashing Tide's also pretty interesting. I don't think I want it, though. We're just going to take the Moment of Craving. So now there's Expel from Mirazka, which is a good card. I like blue-black a fair bit. You can go aggro or control with blue-black. Raging Regisaur is a good card. It is a gold card, though, so I'm not sure if I want to jump in on a gold card this early, especially because I just took a single-colored card, and this is neither of those two colors. So I would immediately be saying I can't play both, because I'm not really going to splash a Moment of Craving if I'm playing red-green. Though I guess if I was like green-black, I could splash Raging Regisaur, so I could technically play both. Legion Conquistador is a card that I've kind of liked building around sometimes, but I don't really want to take one second. I think second is a little bit early, and white just might not be open, and then I just kind of have nothing going on, and it's just not very good unless you get a ton of them. So it's kind of awkward to draft this card because you kind of just want to take them every time you see them, but then if you take it early in the draft, if I get past one next pack and there's another good white card, then I'm in like a predicament because then someone else might take that one, and yeah. I'm just going to take the Expel from Mirazka. I think it's pretty good. Late in the game, it's like a basically run aground, but it can target any non-land permanent, so I'm just going to take the Expel from Mirazka. Okie doke. Skymarcher Aspirant is a card that I do like. I think it's pretty strong because it's good on turn 1 because it can like block everything, and it's also good on like turn 7 because it gains flying, and two powered flyer is pretty relevant. Seatorn Ceratops is a card that I think is fine. Like 2-mana 2/2s can't ever be like horrific in this format. It can be like bad in like many scenarios, but like it's not going to be horrific to put it in your deck at least. But if you have like a couple Hunt the Weeks and a couple of combat tricks for it, then it becomes pretty good. But I'm not green or white right now, so I'm not going to take it. I think I'm going to take the Dusk Legion Zealot because it keeps me in black, and I think Dusk Legion Zealot's a pretty good card, especially if you end up like black control. It's also a vampire, so if I ended up transferring into black-white, then it'd be pretty good. I don't think I'm going to take the Sky Marcher because I don't think it's insanely... I think it's better than Dusk Legion Zealot, probably, but I think Dusk Legion Zealot is close enough that I'd rather stick to my other color that I already have. Evolving Wilds could be a consideration for some, but I think I'd rather have the black card. Dead-Eye Rig Hauler. I'm not really as high on that card as I was. You can usually get a couple if you want them. Okay, so now we've got a bit of a decision point here. I think the two best cards in the pack are probably Kitesail Corsair. Thinking of the second best card is a bit trickier, but I think Kitesail Corsair is the best card in the pack. I think Secrets of the Golden City is another card that's pretty cool if you're playing a control deck. I have never really prioritized it, but I think that might have been an error. I think this card's like exactly what you want in a control deck because it's a common that can win you the game. Because drawing 3 cards can just put you way far ahead of your opponent in the late game. So it's just a way to win the game. But I think Kitesail Corsair is a pretty good 2-drop in even a control deck. I like Swift Warden, but I'm not playing green as of right now, and I would like to solidify myself into black-blue if I can, because, this card's pretty good. Suncrest Pterodon's a pretty good card, but I think Kitesail Corsair is comparable, if not better. I think Kitesail Corsair is better, and I don't have any white cards, so I'm just going to take the Kitesail Corsair here. So I'm in an interesting spot now. I think Resplendent Griffin is pretty good, but it is a white card, so it would mean I'd have to splash. I think this card can just take over the game, but I think there's a lot of cards in blue and black that can take over the game, so I don't think I'd necessarily want to splash this card. It's not insanely powerful. It's not like a late game bomb. It's more of a card that it's like the fact that you can play it on turn 3 and have it be pretty good later is why it's good. It's not like, oh, I'm splashing this card because on turn 7 it's a bomb. I think if you can't play this for 3 mana consistently, it's not going to be great. So I think I'm just going to take Crashing Tide. Thanks, Psychos. So we're going to take Crashing Tide over Fathom Fleet Border. I think Crashing Tide is pretty solid. If I'm playing either control or aggro, it's going to be good. An aggro deck bounce is really good. Thank you so much for the follow, Psychos. I really appreciate it. Also, thanks for thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. It means a lot. Thanks for saying you like it. I hope it continues to provide good entertainment and maybe some helpful tips. So Expel from Mirazka #2 is an option here. I think I want to take a Dusk Legion Zealot though, because having too many bounce spells can be a problem because you just like don't have anything to actually cast. And I think Dusk Legion Zealot's pretty good. Fathom Fleet Border is another consideration, but don't have a ton of pirates right now, and if I'm a control deck, losing 2 life can be relevant. Though this card is still fine in control, and Deadeye Brig Hauler still is pretty replacement level. I mean, you can usually pick up a Deadeye Brig Hauler if you really want one. So I like taking this out there. I think it's just a pretty good card. Okay, so, and it's also just a 2-drop. I have a good amount of 2-drops now, so I can start prioritizing later things. Fathom Fleet Border, not really looking to be what I want to do in this deck. Traveler's Amulet could be a consideration, so I can splash something. So I think I'm going to take that here over the Fathom Fleet Border. It's just a very replaceable 3-drop. I don't really like Sworn Guardian, so I'm going to take the Traveler's Amulet. It just gives me options, is pretty much why I took it. Okay, so Soul of the Rapids can be good if you get auras to put on it. That's pretty much the only time I really like it, though, because like Soul of the Rapids plus Mark of the Vampire is pretty hard to beat. Vampire Revenant is a bit better, I think, though. Just 4 mana, 3-powered flyer can get some work done. Arterial Flow is interesting. It's just a card advantage engine, pretty decent with my Dusk Legion Zealots. But I think I'd rather have Vampire Revenant over the Arterial Flow. I think having a flyer, flyers are pretty good in this format, and yeah, I like it. Orazka Relic is a card that I don't ever prioritize. I never really need that card. And now Secrets of the Golden City came back, which is pretty nice for me. Helps me play a bit more controlling deck. I do have Zealots, which aren't particularly good in aggressive decks, because they only have 1 power, but they're pretty good in control. They help gum up the board, and I like picking up a Secrets here. Now it's between sideboard cards. Silent Gravestone's not a great sideboard card in this format. There's not a ton of graveyard stuff. I do think it's between Dark Inquiry and Negate here. I think Dark Inquiry is a little bit better because there's some bombs that are creatures, like Tetsamok is a great example of a bomb that you'd like to be able to make them discard. Now I'll take a Sea Legs. Probably not going to play it, though. Sea Legs is kind of interesting when you have enough payoffs for Ascend, because then it can kind of get some work done. It just, because it stays in play, and if you don't really care about the creature. So when I like to bring it in is usually when I see like a couple of 2-powered flyers, like the 2/3 flyer. I think this card can just kill it, essentially. Canal Monitor is a fine card. I've played it before. It's not the end of the world. And I took the other Dark Inquiry over a couple of other clunkers. I think the other Dark Inquiry was just the same logic as the other one. So yeah, I think the deck's looking pretty good right now. Good curve, which is important even for a control deck, but I have stuff to do early, which is kind of nice. And then I have some good spells. And Kitesail Corsair is cool because it can just chip in and get some damage through. Polyraptor. I like the art on this card. He's like looking in a lake. You can tell because there's a leaf there. So Curious Obsession could be cool with like my Kitesail Corsair, Vampire Revenant, like flyers it's good with. I like Sadistic Sky Marcher to gain back some life if you are starting to it's just a good card for stabilizing, in my opinion. I do have a couple of vampires, so I could potentially cast it for 3 mana some of the time. I don't think it's insane, though. I think it's pretty good. I think it's between Sky Marcher, Curious Obsession, and Waterknot. I do like Waterknot as a removal spell. It can get you out of some rough spots. I think I'd rather have a card that stabilizes me, though. I don't think I'm aggressive enough for Curious Obsession because it's only good with 1 of my 2-drops, and you kind of want to just play a card that's evasive and put a Curious Obsession on it really early. So I think it's between these 2 cards. I think right now I'm leaning towards Sadistic Sky Marcher. I have several vampires because which makes it able to be cast for 3 some of the time, not a ton, but and I think being able to stabilize and start gaining life in the air is important. Waterknot is good. But I think that's one of the things I've been doing in this format a little bit off is drafting the Water Knot's a little bit too highly. I think Water Knot's good, but it can be hard to cast sometimes. It is a good removal spell, but I like taking Sky Marcher here just because in this deck right now, I only have like 1 or 2 ways to gain life. And if I just get low enough, I just have no way to stabilize, and they can just overwhelm me, so potentially. This pack's pretty bad for us. We're going to take an Admiral's Order. We could main deck it. It's not the end of the world if we have to main deck it, but ideally we wouldn't. There's just nothing great in this pack for us. Any other card we could consider would be Canal Monitor, Sea Legs, or Roscoe Relic, as those are the only 3 cards in our colors. Sworn Guardian too, and I'm pretty confident that all of those cards will wheel. I do like Needletooth Raptor, but I'm not in a position to splash it right now, and I don't think it would be particularly good in my deck. You kind of have to build around it. Mastermind's Acquisition, similar. I don't think you really want this card unless you have like a bomb like Tetsamok. So I think I'm just going to take the Dinosaur Hunter. It's a good 2-drop, pretty defensive, nice card. I like it. I'm going to take it here. I'm just not aggressive enough for Grasping Scoundrels and stuff. So Luminous Bond is a card that I do like to splash in this type of deck. Yeah, I agree with both those picks, Psychos. Though I think the Sky Marcher pick, I'm not sure if draft to draft if I would still make that pick. It's like very close for me. Luminous Bonds is the type of card that I like to splash. But since I don't really have any tools to splash right now, I mean, there's this Forsaken Sanctuary, which might wheel. I think I'm just going to take a Recover. It's pretty good in control decks like this. Just being able to have it's like a draw too, but you're drawing at least 1 spell. So I like it. Now I'll take another Secrets. Secrets is good. I don't have any like bomb rares, so this card can just be a common that wins me the game sometimes. I do have 7 creatures, so I do need to be picking up creatures, but Deadeye Recall is not insane in my deck. I do have some flyers to help it be on more of the time, but I think I like Secrets of the Golden City here. And now Sailor of Means, pretty perfect in this deck, I'd say. It does help me enable splashes. I do have a Traveler's Amulet if I want to splash. There's an Evolving Wilds, but I do like the 1/4 body because then I can win in the air. And it helps Secrets of the Golden City be online because I don't have to sack the treasure. It just puts 2 permanents into play and is a good blocker. I think taking 1 about 5th is probably good. And now I kind of wish I had the Luminous Bonds that I passed up on. I kind of forgot about the Traveler's Amulet, to be quite honest. But I still think with only like playing like Plains and Traveler's Amulet is not enough. And ideally, when I'm splashing in this format, I'd like to be able to play only like 1 copy of that land so it doesn't hurt my mana. I also have like double blue cards, which really kind of hurts my mana. So Forerunner of the Coalition, what can that get for me? It can get Kitesail Corsair, which is not insane. There is another Recover, which I could take. Masterminds is not what I think I want in this deck. Evolving Wilds is interesting because that plus Traveler's Amulet plus Sailor of Means would give me 4 sources for any of my splash colors if I wanted to splash something. So I think it's between Evolving Wilds and Recover. I already have 1 Recover, and it's already not looking great in my deck. So I think I'm just going to take the Evolving Wilds. I mean, I don't have insane creatures to get back with it. You'd take Recaller, interesting Psychos. I forget what I took it over, to be quite honest. But right now, I forget. Recover, I think I don't need a second copy. I'm just going to take the Evolving Wilds. And you can play Evolving Wilds in a 2-color deck and be fine with it. So Dinosaur Hunter is a nice 2-drop. It can block some of the bigger cards in the format, and it's also just fine on its own. I don't need another Canal Monitor. If I really want one, it's going to wheel from that other pack I saw, but I don't think I need that. So it's between Dinosaur Hunter and Secrets of the Golden City number 3, and I don't think I want a 3rd Secrets of the Golden City, so I'm going to take the Dinosaur Hunter. And Water Not Wheeled. What? I'm very confused. Yeah. So, I guess rewarded to the max for taking Sky Marcher. Yeah, that was a nice wheel. Very generous of the Magic Gods to give that to us. We don't need a Sworn Guardian. Maybe we'll play a Relic. I'm not sure. Relic is a card that I think is not insane unless you have good 5-drops to ramp up to. But yeah, I can't believe the Water Not Wheeled. Now we'll take another Canal Monitor over Negate. We could take a Negate, but I don't like bringing Negate. I already have Admiral's Order, so I already have a counterspell, and I might need more beefy creatures to win games with this deck, because currently I don't have anything too exceptional, and Canal Monitor can get the job done in a pinch. And I'll just take a Plummet. It's kind of just a hate draft. Though technically I could splash it if my opponent has like an all flyers deck and I get like another good green card to splash. I'm still trying to think of what I took over the rig hauler because I remember saying I don't think I need a rig hauler. I guess I'll take Strider Harness. I think maybe it was the Evolving Wilds. I can't believe Water not wheeled. That's actually insane. Wow, Knight of the Stampede. Nobody drafting dinos. I think Knight of the Stampede's only really good if you have a couple 6-drops. Otherwise, it's just a 4-mana 2/4. Because you can usually cast your 5-drops on curve anyway. Sometimes it looks really busted because your opponent plays them, and the next turn they spew like 4 dinos. But I don't think it's insane. So, Deadeye Plunderers is an interesting card. I don't think it's insane, though. It's just like a decent late game card. It starts off smaller than Canal Monitor, so I don't even think it's that great. I think I'm going to take Dark Nourishment. Just another piece of removal. I don't have a ton of removal. I have this and Water Knot right now, and that's it. So I think I'm going to take the Dark Nourishment, and Deadeye Plunderers might wheel. Actually, Siren. Oops. That was a quick double click that I didn't really mean to do. But yeah, I was just trying to zoom in on the card. Oops. I think it was between Siren Lookout and Dark Nourishment for sure for me. And I was actually considering just taking the Siren Lookout and trying to wheel the blue-black card. I think Dark Nourishment would have maybe been better in my deck, but I do need creatures, so it's not the end of the world. Yeah, that was awkward. I don't really like Ruthless Knave in this deck. I'm just gonna take Vanquish the Weak. Another piece of removal. I don't have a ton of removal, and Vanquish is pretty good. Shorekeeper might wheel. I do kind of like Shorekeeper. Ruthless Knave is also fine. I don't mind running a Ruthless Knave. I'll take the Vanquish. The misclick was kind of annoying. I would have liked to have settled on which one I would have taken, because I was definitely choosing between this card and Dark Nourishment, because I think the the black-blue card has a chance of wheeling, and I also think it's like meh. Since Water not wheeled, Lookout probably had a higher chance of wheeling. I think the gold card has a higher chance of wheeling. I don't think Dark Nourishment's going to wheel. That's definitely not wheeling. This is interesting. Elaborate Fire Cannon is a pretty neat late game card. I like Sailor of Means, though, as a blocker, as a card to fix your mana. It helps me get to the City's Blessing. So I think I'm going to take that over a Fire Cannon. It's close, though. Fire Cannon is just a bit slow for my taste. Run Aground's also nice, but I already have a couple bounce spells, so I think I'm fine. Costly Plunder can be interesting if you have super high priority threats that you need to keep alive, or if you have like a recover and you want to get it back, but you would have took Dark. Oh, yeah. I was considering it. I already have a couple expensive cards. Let's look at my curve. Yeah, I do have a lot of 3-drops, but none of them are really creatures. I just need more creatures, I think. I think I was leaning towards the Dark Nourishment, but I'm not like unhappy to have a Siren Lookout. Like, of all the cards to misclick on, that is not the like worst one. Hey, Kopala, he's not great in my deck, but nice to see this fun little merfolk fellow. Blightkeeper is not really what I'm doing in this deck. This is my curve right now. I like Headwater Sentries sometimes. Depths of Desire can be good. I don't love Headwater Sentries, though. I think I'm going to take Depths of Desire. Just another interactive card. Can get me a permanent for the City's Blessing. Can help me splash stuff. I didn't see anything worth splashing, though, so I'm not going to splash in this deck, I don't think. I think I'm just a commons. I think Tempest Caller is good in some decks, but in my deck it doesn't seem insane. Like, it can maybe enable a Canal Monitor hit, but it's not great. I think I'm just going to take the Siren Lookout here. I think Flyers are pretty good in this format, and I hope to just win in the air. Ooh, this is actually perfect. I think Pirate's Cutlass is going to be excellent in my deck. I do have several flyers that are pirates, so it will equip for free a decent amount of the time. I have like Dinosaur Hunters. I have a lot of pirates, and I think Pirate's Cutlass is a great way to make any of my little flyers into a threat. I can't believe I'm getting it fifth. Raider's Wake is interesting in some decks. My deck doesn't seem great at it, but it's fine in some decks. Queen's Aiden is a card that I would like to have potentially as just a life-linking body at the top end to help me stabilize. Shorekeeper is a card that's fine, but this card's perfect in my deck. It's like a great win con for me. So looking at this pack, Lookout's Dispersal is nice. I have enough pirates to make it good, I think, because I have like 5 pirates or 6 pirates. I don't need another 2-drop. I already have 5 of them. Prosperous Pirates, I'm not really planning on splashing, and I already have a couple 5-drops that are similar power level. Pirate's Prize, I already have several draw 2s, so I think I'm going to take Lookout's Dispersal and probably main deck it. I think it's a pretty good card if you have enough pirates. And now, I don't need to cancel because I already have Admiral's Order, and you never really want to run multiples of that effect, because if you draw both when you're behind, if you draw both and your opponent's already on the board, you sometimes just lose because of that. I don't need a Cobbled Wings because I already have enough flyers. Headwater Sentinels is definitely medium. Probably not what I want. Storm Sculptor has some utility with Dusk Legion Zealots and Siren Lookout, so I might just take that. So there's like 4 cards it's good with. Ruthless Knave is an interesting one, but Storm Sculptor can be nice. I think I'm going to take the Storm Sculptor. Ruthless Knave doesn't seem insane in my deck. And as I predicted, the Deadeye Plunderers did wheel, so I think the deck's coming together. Deadeye Tormentor is interesting, though. It might just be better than Deadeye Plunderers. Maybe I was being a bit cute with Storm Sculptor, but I think it will be fine. I don't think I even need it. I forget what I took it over. I don't think there was anything awesome in the pack. I think I'll take probably Deadeye Tormentor. I think Deadeye Tormentor is going to be good in my deck. And now I'll take a Shorekeeper. Yeah, I don't think the Deadeye Brawlers is all that good, because I do have a couple artifacts. Oh, I took it over the 3-2 guy. I do not mind that at all. I don't really need a 3-mana 3-2 in this deck. Whereas Storm Sculptor could be a pretty good sideboard tech, especially if my opponent has a lot of auras. I think I might main deck it. You never know. I could just cut the Canal Monitors. I'm probably going to just cut them. Don't think I need them. Shorekeeper might be on the chopping block. I already do have some draw effects. Costly Plunder is a nice sideboard card. So is Duress, but I already have the Dark Inquiries, so I think I'll just take the Costly Plunder. Maybe I need a sack effect. Headwater Sentinel. Sentries, I mean. Was I saying Sentinels that whole time? Sorry. Ooh, Shorekeeper. I think Shorekeeper deserves more respect than this. It's been fine for me in this format. I'm probably not going to play it this time around, but you would look to cut non-creatures. Yeah, I think Depths of Desire is on the chopping block for sure. So if I convert mana cost, oh my gosh. What the heck? Look at this curve. Yeah, I think Depths of Desire is getting cut. Admiral's Order is getting cut. Maybe I need some expensive guys. So right now this is the deck. Let's see. So Storm Sculptor's a fine card. So I don't think I needed the counter spell. I don't think I need depths. I kind of want to run a Canal Monitor, perhaps. I don't think I need Shorekeepers, because I do have some draw effects already. So I have 2 of these. I think these are staying in. Yeah, all of those are staying in. I could potentially cut 1 Dinosaur Hunter. I could cut the Storm Sculptor, though I think Sculptor's probably fine in my deck. Sailor of Means is mostly just to help me get Secrets of the Golden City online. That's what the treasure's going to be for. So maybe I cut 1 Dinosaur Hunter for 1 Shorekeeper. I could get behind that, just so I have an extra draw effect. And I get on the board early. You'd cut Recover and Dispersal and play both monitors. I don't think I need a 5-drop win condition. I think my win condition is just going to be flyers, because I have a lot of flyers. And I think Recover's pretty fine in my deck. Though I do only have 13 creatures, but I think Recover's just fine as a one of. If you don't have a creature in play, you're probably in bad shape. Though I do Yeah, I'll probably cut this guy for a Canal Monitor. I think this looks fine. Moment of Craving can help me stabilize the early game. This guy's just a big body. I think I'll play it over a Shorekeeper. I don't think I need a Shorekeeper. I just need another big body to win the game. So, save the deck, combine groups. Let's look at our mana. Sort by color, we're just going to go 9/8. Because we do have a double blue card in the Water Knot. And a couple of Secrets of the Golden City. But we have a lot of black 2-drops that we want to get down early. And this guy is a 4-drop. No, this guy's a 4-drop essentially in our deck. So, yeah, I think this looks good. I think Lookout's Dispersal is going to be fine. We have a lot of pirates. Yeah, and then we can always sideboard in more defensive stuff, more counter spells. I think our deck has a great sideboard because we have Shorekeepers for if we are playing in a control mirror match. We're kind of a controlling deck. We have Shorekeepers for that. We have Depths of Desire for if we need that effect. We have Headwater Sentries if that's going to be a good body that's relevant. Canal Monitor if we need more beef. Dark Inquiries for bombs. And then, yeah. So, yeah, let's see how this goes. I think our deck's pretty solid, especially because we don't have any, like, rares. We have actually 0 rares, so usually control relies more on, yeah, I'm definitely happy to have this Canal Monitor. So I'm going to keep this hand. Okie doke. Probably going to lead with the Kitesail Corsair, just to start chipping in for damage. Depends on what my opponent plays, though. Yeah, definitely going to play the Kitesail Corsair. He could kill it, but it's not the end of the world. Just puts him on a 10-turn clock here. He'll have to deal with it. He has his own Kitesail Corsair. So I'll probably attack him, play my Dusk Legion Zealot. I'll attack and play my Sailor Queen so I can play my Canal Monitor a turn ahead of schedule. And then I'll just keep trying to connect with my Canal Monitor by using my removal spells. And my Sailor of Means will probably just hold the ground. So I would have on this turn played my Dusk Legion Zealot, or maybe I would have just vanquished his guy. It was going to be a close call. Because Vanquish uses my mana, and then the turn after, I could potentially Dusk Legion Zealot and Moment of Craving something. But I only have 1 black mana, so it's kind of close on that front, too. Spirewinder, okay. I'm glad I have my Vanquish the Weak still. If I attack, he's just going to block, so I'm just going to play my land. I don't think I want to Vanquish the Weak this. I think I want to just get my big guy into play. And this way I'm set up to win the race, because I can Vanquish this 1 turn, and then I can kill the Kitesail with my Unquenchable Thirst the next turn. I mean, my Moment of Craving, not Unquenchable Thirst. I don't know why I always call it that. I do not know. Okay, doke. Opponent's going to trade 4 damage for potentially 5 damage. Maybe they have a removal spell for the Canal Monitor. That would make sense. The 2 life on the Moment of Craving is going to be relevant, I think. Siren Reaver. Okay. Swamp. Oh, man. That's actually really bad for me. Drawing a island is actually useless. So I'm going to Moment of Craving this, I think. Because Vanquish the Weak is going to take care of that guy. And I do want to get an uncontested attack off. I'm going to do it before combat so he can't, like, use the double strike combat trick to save his guy. Then I'm going to attack with everything. I get in for 8. He's only hitting me for 4. I think I'm still in fine shape, though. If I'd drawn a swamp that turn, it would have been much better for me. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. My 3 cards are pretty good, but he looks like he's flooding a little bit. Ramping this card out by turn 4 is pretty good, because then it can attack in for a ton of damage. And my opponent's already, like, very low. Oh, he's still attacking. That's a interesting attack, I think. It depends on what he has, of course, but nothing. Okay, so the flash cards that we need to worry about in blue specifically are Wind Strider and, what's it called? Shoot, the pirate guy, Siren Singer, no. It's the 4-mana 3/3 flyer that can only block flyers. So we're going to play our swamp. Then we're going to attack our opponent with everything again. If he has a Wind Strider, we'll kill it with our Vanquish the Weak, and then play our Dinosaur Hunter, I think. Sea Legs, sure. That is not a problem for me. So we are going to... I think we're going to play our Dinosaur Hunter just so we have a couple more lethal threats. And then I think we're going to wait on playing our Vanquish the Weak. Just to maybe see what he's up to. Because he might like hold back one blocker and then we can kill him. I like playing the Dinosaur Hunter over the Zealot because it just has an extra point of power. So now we are going to Vanquish the Weak his Spire Winder. If he does have a trick to save it, at least now we know before we run our Canal Monitor in as a suicide attack, and he scoops it up. What we're going to draw. Okie doke. So that went pretty well. Now we know about a little bit more about his deck. He looks like he's a Flyers deck. This is the type of deck that Sea Legs would be good against if he didn't have Pirate Flyers, but he does look like he does. Oh, I have an Evolving Wilds I should have put in the deck. Oh, that was kind of bad. Oops. I'm going to run an island and Evolving Wilds over an island. Oops. I think Evolving Wilds is good. Just helps me make sure I have my both colors. Okay, so do I have any defensive bodies that I do not think are going to be good against Flyers? Sailor Means is questionable, but I think it's good to help my mana out. Recover might be a bit slow for the matchup. He looks like he's a pretty aggressive deck. I'm going to cut Recover for a Dinosaur Hunter, just so I can get on the board early, start racing him if I need to. Don't think I need depths or anything. I'll submit the deck. And this seems like a fine hand. I do have a lot of lands, but I have a pretty good 2-drop. I have a removal spell for a flyer. I think my Sailor Means are probably going to be good at holding the ground. More lands is not what I like to see, though. He did mulligan, so I do have a slight advantage there, but... Oh, and it looks like he does not have blue mana right now. Oh, that was a good draw, I think. Hopefully. So we're just going to run out our Kite Sail. Hopefully he doesn't have removal. If he does, it's not the end of it is not the end of the world. I think we win the long game against his deck. So drawing a Moment of Craving really helps us get there. And he's just running out that guy. I think we're going to Moment of Craving that just so he can't turn on other raid abilities. Though, we'll probably just play Sailor now. Yeah, just use our mana. It already kind of blanks to Swaggering Corsair, then we can save our removal for flyers. Like the 4 mana 3/2 flyer. Sailor Means it's just going to be a good blocker holding up the ground. Kind of want to be conservative with our removal because we don't have a ton of spells. Okay, so there he found a spell. I mean an island. So now he can cast all of his blue cards. He has 4 cards in hand. We have 5, but 3 of them are kind of blanks right now. Definitely blocking. I think he's just doing this to trigger raid. If he wants to trade a combat trick for our Sailor Means, we're probably okay with that. Sure. It means he's not developing his board a lot. We could have waited on blocking until we had a Moment of Craving up, but I think this is just fine. Like, yeah, we're fine with this. He's spending his whole turn to kill a Sailor Means. Sailor Means is not crucial to our game plan in any way. Though if we had another mana, we could have blown him out with our Moment of Craving. Though we want Moment of Craving for cards like that. Okay, so we're going to attack for 2. Then we're just going to play our Dinosaur Hunter and hold up Moment of Craving. It's good to know he has this card so that we can potentially play around him having it with our like future Moment of Cravings and stuff. No blocks. And we're going to Moment of Craving this. I Okay, so I think he probably has the post-combat 3/2 flyer. Oh, nope, he has a Spire Winder. That's also fine. We're going to probably Water Knot that. I spoke too soon. We're going to play our Canal Monitor. We're going to get out our big guy before we start using our removal spells. Okay, if he wants to trade both of his guys for a Spire, for our... Oh, he's attacking. Interesting. Oh, okay. So we're going to attack first, offer this trade up. I'm pretty fine if he trades off both of his guys for our Canal Monitor. It means that our Dinosaur Hunter can start attacking. And yeah, it's pretty good for me, I think. And then I can get rid of this guy. I could have suicide attacked with the Dinosaur Hunter there, but I don't think that's worth it. I think I should have played a land there too. There's really no reason not to. Okay. Because yeah, then if I like chain this guy into like another draw spell. Yeah, okay. Not really punished. But like if I draw Secrets of the Golden City, I want to have played all my lands so I have the City's Blessing easier. Okay, hitting him for 4. Hopefully he doesn't have a Curious Obsession, because I don't think I can beat the Curious Obsession Soul, the Rapids combo right now. And that's like the only real noteworthy aura that he could put on it. I guess he could give it +3/+0 and trample, but that's also pretty unavoidable. He's attacking for 3. Maybe he has the 3/2 flyer. He has a Water Knot. Okay. So we're trading 3 damage for 3 damage. Okay, perfect. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Always make sure to count your Water Knot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I didn't have to play my land there first. We're going to draw before we do anything. Okay. Pretty decent amount of lands there. But it's all fine. Going to play our Vampire Revenant now. When you draw more cards, you by necessity draw more lands among those more cards. And opponent can scoops it up. Let's see, were there any changes we wanted to make to our deck? I think Dinosaur Hunter could definitely make main deck, but I think we have enough 2-drops, so unless we have a real reason to bring him in, I think we'll just keep it like this. We do have only 13 creatures. Could be a bit on the low side. Canal Monitor definitely did work. Maybe we want to just main deck the other copy as Psychos suggested. But yeah, that was a pretty easy win. We kind of drew well, I think. Reaper's Rage. Getting paired down, the 1-0 bracket facing off against the 1-1. I would like to play first. This hand's not great, but I think we're going to keep it. We just need to draw 1 land, and then Secrets of the Golden City can kind of smooth our draw. Recover is not looking insane in this hand. You like cutting the Dispersal for another creature? That is definitely a that's a fair consideration for sure. Yeah, hopefully we draw land here so we can make sure we hit all of our land drops and stuff. Oh, nope, we missed. It's all good. Opponent didn't have a 2-drop, so we're not like dead. Opponent doesn't have a 3-drop. Land. Boom, let's go. We're just going to play our Deadeye Tormentor, I think. Gets us on the board, and we can bounce it with our Storm Sculptor for the value later. We're going to use secrets next turn so that we don't have to discard. Oh, gosh. That is not what I like to see. We're just going to play Pirate's Cutlass and try to kill him now. Yeah, Vance's Blasting Cannon is a beating, as they say. He was saving all of his cheap cards so that he could flip it looks like. Because that card's pretty hard to beat otherwise. See red. Oh, if he put C red on that, that's actually kind of funny. Squire's Devotion, sure. Okie doke. I'm gonna use my Moment of Craving, I think. And hit him for 4. He'll probably chump at some point because this card is drawing an extra card every turn. Mountain, okay. He looks like he might be flooding a little bit. Oh, yes, rewarded to the max for saving that Vanquish the Weak. Oh, man, I look like a genius. Unless, of course, he has like a Vampire Seal. Okay. I think I'm going to go for the Vanquish the Weak play. Perfect. Play my land. The reason I'm not just developing my board more is because I just want to pressure him so he has to like chump with his guy. I also want to make him use his spells, and I don't want Vance's Blasting Cannons to win him the game, so playing my Vampire Revenant was a consideration there, but I put him at a lower life total this way. Bonded Horncrest, okay. Sure. And now I will play my Vampire Revenant. I have him on a 2-turn clock thanks to my Flyer plus Cutlass. Nice little combo. He's drawing an extra card every turn, which is very scary. I mean, he can't play lands off of it, which is... Oh, no. That's not good for me. That isn't good. He has to attack with a friend, though, which I can kill. I think we'll eat this guy. Take the 6. Ouch. Brutal. Huh. We're going to play our Zealot. We're going to equip Zealot. Play land. Pass the turn. This kind of shuts down his attacks with his... I should have attacked for 3 in the air. What was I thinking? That was bad, kind of. But, no, it wasn't. Never mind. I want to be able to trade these 2 guys. But I think we've lost this game. Vance's Blasting Cannon is just a beating, and this guy with Squire's Devotion is a bit unfortunate. He made us play aggro by playing a card that drew him an extra card every turn, and then he just kind of beat us at his own game. This way we take 6, 8, 9, 10. Which means we die to this. I have to block there, I think. No, I'll just jump. Okie doke. Probably should have tapped double black there in case I wanted to cast secrets or something. I'll hold up my counterspell. It's not going to be relevant. I don't think I'm going to cast it even. I think I'm just dead to this thing. I'm just going to concede this game. We can't win this one. Vance's is just too strong. Okay, so I don't think we can bring in Dark Inquiry against Vance's. Seems a bit tough. Could bring in Admiral's Order potentially. Depth of Desire seems good against the Squire's Devotions. Shorekeeper doesn't seem good. Dinosaur Hunter seems good against the Bonded Horncrest. Yeah. I think I will cut a Secret to the Golden City. No, I think the game might go long against his deck. I'll cut Dispersal. He doesn't have a ton of expensive stuff. So maybe I kind of want to bring in all three of these cards. So I'll cut my fringe cards for him. Storm Sculptor still seems fine. I'll cut his Secrets. Actually, I'd probably rather have Secrets than Admiral's Order. My plan against the against Vance is just hope he doesn't have it. I would like to play first. This is a fine hand. Not insane. Also, we did miss a land drop last game, so that was a factor for sure. Probably going to lead with our Dusk Legion Zealot just to try and find more land. This way we can potentially play on curve. Ouch. Ow. Yikes. No land. Boom, there we go. Going to attack. Play our Sailor of Means, which helps us play our Sadistic Sky Marcher next turn. Though we could also save the treasure for later. That's the cool thing about treasure, is you can use it whenever you want. Legion Conquistador, how many does he have? He's only getting one, so he doesn't have to discard to hand size. I think we'll save our treasure and just play the Siren Lookout. Our life title doesn't seem insanely relevant, and this can help us find a land maybe. And we're going to put that in the graveyard. We already have a bounce spell, and we would like to find lands, so yeah. He has a second color. Vance's Blasting Cannon is right on cue. So we'll hit him for 2 in the air. We could like Moment of Craving attack with everything, but Moment of Craving I think is going to be used to clear out flyers. We're just going to try and kill him before he can do anything. We can also put the Vance's Blasting Cannon on top of his deck next turn if we draw a land. I don't think we just want to straight up bounce it, because that seems like a little bit worse. I think we also want to get our guy out of the board. Okay, he's going to cast the Relentless Raptor. Our Sailor of Means kind of blanks it. And the Legion Conquistador, how many more does he have? No more. He only has 2. Or he has others in his hand. Okie doke. Drawing lands is not the worst here. Because now we can put this on top of his deck. The beginning of your upkeep. So we could... that's interesting. We could time walk him by, in response to this trigger, putting this card on top of his deck. We're definitely going to play our Dinosaur Hunter this turn, I think. And then... do we want to put it on top now? Putting it on top now seems fine. Though I do like making him like recast it immediately. He's probably going to do that anyway. Might be just a bit fancy. It gives him more options. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Library. So he's probably just going to recast it, though he might not be able to. He might just be a bit behind on board and have to okay. So now do we want to trade these off? I don't think we really care, because we're not going to be able to get through on the ground through the Conquistadors with our 2/2 anyway. So I think we'll just block. We'll trade. Trading seems fine here. This guy's never going to attack, and we don't want him to be able to put an aura onto his Relentless Raptors. He's just going to replay his Vance's Blasting Cannons. Okie doke. So we're going to attack him. If he ever flips Vances, we're just in bad shape. Mountain. So we have him on a 2-turn clock, I think, because we can Alpha Strike with these guys to get in a point of damage. That's a good draw, I think. It looks like he's holding up Divine Verdict. There's no way he has 5 cards in hand and nothing to do with it. So I think we're going to play it, take a turn off, and play our Storm Sculptor. And just not attack. Don't want to play into his hands. Because we can Alpha next turn. And then we will draw another card. Okay, so he has Unfriendly Fire, so that means I get another couple points of damage in, which is good to know. I was actually not going to attack, so good to know that I can get in for some damage here. Especially because now my Storm Sculptor can attack safely while on his Horncrest is the flip. I think we might be able to kill him here if he casts Horncrest. Horncrest is the play. So yeah, we can Crashing Tide one, kill the other, and just kill him. Because he can't block with Horncrest if it's by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okie doke. So he has the counter for that. So now he can block 2 of our guys. So if he blocks... So if we attack with everything, he'll go block, block. He dies. So he has to at least trade here, and then he'll eat one of our guys. I think we're fine with that. Though he did just gain 2 life, so he can still block, block. I think making our flyer lethal is important, though, because now we're going to have another flyer. Yep, those guys weren't getting through anyway. So they sacrificed themselves so that we might have all lethal creatures. Ouch. I messed that up, maybe. I may have messed that up. Ugh. Maybe I got too aggressive. He's going to gain 6. So he goes up to 8, and then I have 3, 5, 7. Oh no. Ouch. I think he got me. I don't have any more bounce spells. I need to draw Water Knot, I think. Yeah, that's going to be game. He had to have Squire's Devotion, but, I mean, he had 5 cards in hand, so. I guess my Dinosaur Hunter can block it, so. He will gain another 6 life. Oh, he also flipped this. Oh, I'm definitely dead. I don't know why he let me block. He has me dead. Interesting. What? 7 mana. Star of Extinction? That's a double red card. Sky Terror, Ceratops. And yeah, that's going to do it. I feel like we could have won that game, but at the same time, I don't think we could have. Because we had the Storm Sculptor in play, so we could have held up Crashing Tide. So if instead of going for the win, so maybe what we did, I'm just trying to think about it. So if we had instead, so we lost because he managed to get a couple hits off with this. If we had, instead of going for the win there, because we had him at 7 and we had these guys we're going to get in, or 3 guys we're going to get in, we could have played our Kitesail Corsair. We could have attacked with our unblockable guys, put him down, made him have something. No, because that would have put him, he would have been at, he would have gone down to 2. So we would have put him down to 2, and we would have been able to hold up our Crashing Tide because we had a Storm Sculptor in play. So then, then on his turn, if he goes for Squire's Devotion, we kill it and win. Yeah. So I think we messed that up. Also, why I already conceded. Oops. But yeah. A bit of a interesting play, I think. I think going for lethal has its merits, but I don't think I needed to necessarily. There are cards that punish me for not going for it, like if he has a couple more removal spells. He flips one off advances or something, but definitely an interesting decision. So let's see, how do we want to change our deck? Yeah, I think Look Out Dispersal might not be what we want. I think it's better in a more aggressive deck. So I think I'll bring in Canal Monitor. Actually, yeah, I think I'd just rather have a top end card than a Dinosaur Hunter. Yep. But yeah, I think if I'd waited, I probably would have won that game. Going for lethal is definitely always tempting, though. Also, if I'd gone for Moment of Craving first, I think that was important sequencing. Instead of bouncing his guy first, I could have just gone for Moment of Craving first, just to see if the coast was clear. Because he could have a +2/+2 to stop the Moment of Craving, but he can't have anything to stop the other spell. Also, maybe he doesn't blow his plus spell if I go for Moment of Craving. He might just not cast it. This is a keep, I think. It's not great, but it's fine. So yeah, I think there was numerous ways I probably could have won that game. If I'd cast Moment of Craving first, he might not have stopped it, and then if I'd held up my bounce spell. So yeah, I think casting Moment of Craving first was correct, because then I would have known to hold up my bounce spell. And yeah. Then I could have played around Squire's Devotion. Because it was going to be a 2-turn clock no matter what I did at that point. So I kind of just used my bounce spell for no value. Oh, Paladin of Atonement, nice. I do not really care about that because I'm not planning on attacking him for now. Iga Spell from Arazka. Going to be casting turn 4 Canal Monitor, looks like. Sky Marcher Aspirant. Maybe opponent doesn't have a third land. Does not have a third land. So we could attack him and make him discard. I'd rather ramp into a turn 4 Canal Monitor though. Also don't really want to pump up the Paladin right now. The Martyr of Dusk. Yeah, I'm not going to attack and pump this guy up. And maybe I can get some value out of this Expel from Arazka, like if he goes for a double block, I bounce one of his guys, and it's all good from there. He did find his third land. Maybe that was last turn. Sailor of Means. Okie doke. So I think I'm going to attack him with a Sailor of Means. I don't think this card is trading off for something. I don't really want to use my Expel from Maraska before I have the City's Blessing, because I'm going to have the City's Blessing next turn. I just want to be able to get my Deadeye Tormentor online. He's probably going to block with his Sailor. Anything else will trade. Yep, that's fine. It doesn't pub up this guy. I just like getting my guy down for value. And then I can play my Dinosaur Hunter as well. One with the wind. Dang, I actually kind of wish he'd kept that because I have this guy. Unlucky. Maybe he has another one. Dang. Discarding one with the wind, what does he have? Okay, so he has the City's Blessing, so his flyers are now a problem. I do have quite a few flyers of my own, though. Secrets would be a good draw. Sailor Means, not great. I'm mostly running Sailor Means to help me get to this point, but after that, it's not great. I think I'm going to attack with this guy now. Now that I have the City's Blessing. So I can put just whatever I bounce on top of his deck instead. He's just jumping. Put it on your library. Nice little bit of value. Not sure how meaningful it is. If he starts attacking with his 2/3, I could maybe start attacking him with my 2/2s, but I don't really want the... I mean, he has Sailor Means, so never mind. Paladin, the flyers are a problem. I'll have to draw some way to deal with them. Islands can deal with them in conjunction with spells. So he could just double block here. I don't really want to trade those off. Seems like a bad trade for me. I mean, these two guys are kind of linked with a Sailor Means. And he could have something bigger. Oh. Yeah. So, I guess giving him that extra treasure from the Sailor of Means cost me. Not good, shall we say. Yeah. And we don't even have any flyers to block. So that's going to do it for that game. I think we can bring in our Dark Inquiries against Azor. Lookout Dispersal is also good against Azor. Admiral's Order is good against Azor. Those 4 cards seem good. What cards seem bad in the matchup? Probably don't need Recover. Probably don't need some of my cheap like Dinosaur Hunters because he just has defensive bodies, I think, probably. Sailor Means did not seem great. I only have 11 creatures now, though. So maybe I just want to cut some other stuff. Crashing Tide does not seem great in the matchup, but it's always replacing itself, so I'll cut Crashing Tide for a Dinosaur Hunter. 12 creatures is very low, though. Problem is I can't kill Azor. I can like Water Knot, but I only have 1 Water Knot. Would I like to play first? Yes, I would. I'll keep this hand. Important to note, when you have a Dark Inquiry in a hand like this and you really want to hit Azor with it, you don't want to cast your Dark Inquiry until like later in the game. Like until like he's about to cast Azor. We're going to lead with our Zealot. Draw ourselves a card. Value. If we hit a land, we can Deadeye Tormentor, and then we can Cutlass it. Adonto Vanguard. That is an annoying card. Let's attack him, see what he does. If he pays 4 life, we're probably fine. That's like trading this guy for 4 life. But we're making him discard a card, which is the real reason we're doing this attack. We're willing to suicide our guy to make him discard. Also, him paying 4 life is not irrelevant. The fewer cards in hand, the harder they fall. I think that's how the saying goes. We also have like Pirate's Cutlass to make this guy kind of a threat. Highest Interdiction. What is in this man's hand? That is a very strong card. When they do stuff like that, it makes you worry. You're like, what could he possibly have in his deck that makes him discard Highest Interdiction? Exultant Sky Marcher. We're going to play our Cutlass first. Start hitting him for 4. We can vanquish this next turn. But this just makes it a very strong attacker. Put him on a 4-turn clock. Makes his Adonto Vanguard worse because he can't really afford to activate it as much. And overall, I think this play is better. Going to be better than vanquishing. It is essentially trading us 2 damage for 2 damage. But if we draw an island, we can play this guy and blank this anyway. So. And also Vanquish can do stuff like blow him out if he has a combat trick here. No block. So we're going to play our Sadistic Sky Marcher, I think. Just kind of a big body. We can put the Cutlass on it next turn if we want. Siren Lookout is an interesting option, but I don't think... If it becomes a 1-2, it's just useless. It does nothing for us. And this thing gaining us life is pretty good. So now this is the turn where we would ideally cast our... so 3, 5, 6, 7. Putting me to 4. Yeah. So we could block this, make him dead to our guy. I think we're just going to go to 4, though. Sky Marcher. So this is where we're like in a predicament because I don't think we can afford to kill the... So we can only cast one of our spells, first of all. I think we're going to have to vanquish this, equip here, hold back our Deadeye. That was kind of bad, I think. Maybe I should have attacked for 4 and then equipped this and just held him back on defense as a 4-3. If he wants to jump block, I'm probably fine with that exchange. If he has a pump spell, I lose the game, though. Feels bad. I didn't expect him to have a pump spell. If I knew he had a pump spell, then I would have killed this guy before he could block. But I don't think I can beat a pump spell anyway, because that makes the flyer lethal. Though I would have gained 4, I would have gone up to 8. And he would have attacked me. I would have gone to block there. So I couldn't have vanquished anyway. He would have had the pump spell. But then I would have held my guy back on defense. Is there any oh, man. I guess... I mean, I was pretty sure he wouldn't chump block. But I kind of wanted to give him the option to do it. But I guess that's why you don't give them the option. Now I just have to let him do this so I can gain the life. Hopefully we get the counter. Have I ever gotten the counter when I need it? That is the real question. So, yeah, I think I messed up this game, potentially. And I'll take 6. He'll probably just let the damage happen. Yep, that was bad. Oh, he had Slash of Talons. Whip. Rip. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I do not think. I probably wasn't going to win this game anyway, but I could have definitely played that better. Let's just see what was in his hand. He had an island. Yep, that's going to be the game. Well, unfortunately, get a 1-2, but such is life. Oh, he drew a moment of triumph. Nice. But such is life. Sometimes it happens. But yeah, that's going... Oh, he sent me a message. That's going to do it for this draft video. If you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, if you have any questions about the draft or the gameplay, be sure to leave them in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to get updates whenever I post new content. If you would like to catch me streaming live, you can find me on Twitch, streaming at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. If you would like to connect with me on social media, you can find me on Twitter. Tweet me at NicolaiBolas. I post there whenever I go live, whenever I have a 3-0 deck list, and whenever I have a new YouTube video. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Unfortunate to get a 1-2, but it happens, and we didn't really open any rares or have any rares, so that sometimes happens when you play control without any rares, or my deck wasn't insane. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.